I want to show you how to create these visual plots that actually animate, usually through time or through some sort of state, things like that. You're going to see a lot of these popping up because it's very popular now. Now, I'm not going to show you how this all works. I just want to show you how to get the first one to actually render and actually plot so that it moves like that. If you have a MacBook Pro like I do, you're on a Mac operating system, you might run into this problem, and here I am to solve that problem for you, hopefully. So let me start off with where I started learning how to do these plots. I literally didn't get very far. So I'm on this website, and I'll have the link to it in the description. But I'm on this website, and I'm reading, and I'm following along, and immediately I thought, okay, going down, here's a static plot. And then it says, hey, to animate it, just add this transition time right here, and you can animate it. Well, as soon as I did that, I ran into some problems and some errors. Now, I can't reproduce the error because I've already solved the problem, but let me tell you what the error is, and if you have the same type of error, you can probably fix it. This might be a Mac-only thing. So let me go to this warning that I found when I started Googling what my error message was. My message was, file renderer failed to copy frames to the destination directory. And I'm like, what's going on? I start Googling, I start Stack Overflowing, and everyone keeps saying, oh, it's your permissions. You have something wrong with your permissions. But I mean, I can write things to my folder, no problem. Here's my files here, right? I'm writing all these different little PNG files, no problem, but it never animates. So what happens is, somehow there's a function in there or a call to some API from my Mac OS that says to write something to this folder that I think is not coming directly from R. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, so to solve the problem, the answer was not on this site, right? So other people have had this problem, and the answer was not on this site completely. It did say your permissions are wrong. So what I did was I said, okay, what's my working directory? So let's do get WD, and I said, all right, desktop animation examples. So what I did was I went to the Finder, I went to my desktop, clicked on animation examples, and I thought, oh, simple fix. I'll just make it so it's write and readable from every program. So I right click or double click with your finger. I go down to get info. This is my normal way I would think to do it. And now I look at it, and down here at the bottom, if it's not showing, you can click on this little arrow, sharing and permissions. It says read and write from me, and then staff read only, and everyone read only. Now, I've tried to change this multiple times within this window. For example, the first thing I started doing was clicking on it and go to read write. Click on it, go to read write. And I thought I was good to go. Well, that didn't work. It kept reverting back to read only. So then I decided, let me click this little lock thing, and then it asks for my password. I put in my fingerprint, put in your password, and then I thought, okay, now it's good. Well, that didn't work either. So then I clicked on this little settings icon, and I said, apply to enclosed items. And then it asked me, are you sure you want to do that? I say, yes. Now, it says read and write, read and write, read and write here, right? And that's not probably the most secure thing to do, but this is my workaround to just get this thing to work once. So I close it out, I try to run the program again, and it does not work. So let's go back and check the get info again, right? Now, it says read and write, read and write, read and write. But then as soon as I ran the program again, it would give me the same error. So I want to show you a different way to change the permissions on that folder. So the other way to do it, if that doesn't work, which it did not work for me, literally like 5 or 6 times I was playing around with it. So go to your terminal, which is down here, and I'm sorry for the font, I'll zoom in as much as I can. But what you want to do is you want to go into, you can click LS, and usually if you do LS, let me go back one. If you do LS, you're probably going to start in this type of directory where you can see your applications, documents, library, desktop. So you want to go into wherever your folder is located. So I'm hoping that you know how to locate your own folder. Mine was under the desktop, so I CD desktop, and then I did LS, and I know that my folder was called animation examples. So, and you can see that, animation examples. So I did a change mod, a chmod. It's a change permission, chmod. And just because I'm a little bit careless when it comes to this permission stuff, I do 777, which is read write access for everybody and everything. Every program can read write access. And then I type in space, and I put in the actual directory, which is animated examples. I hit enter, and then it should work. You can do ls-l ls space -l, and you can see animation examples at the bottom, and you can see down here the drwx and all that. You need something like that, and then you have permissions. I literally had to go through that in order to get my permissions to work. However, this still did not work. I had to install a couple more packages, so be wary of that as well. The other packages that I had to install, one was called gifski, gifski, and then finally I had to also install png, like a PNG file. Install those two, change those permissions like I said, and then you can run this. I'm going to command run this thing now, and you should see down here it'll render. Now when I was having the errors, it would render, it just wouldn't show me any plots. It would give me lines of warnings, especially the warning that said can't write this file. But now you should be able to get the plot. And you can do this in an RMD file, a notebook file. You can render the notebook file, and the HTML output will actually still render. And so let me just go back to this site here where I was learning from here. So I made it this far, and I haven't learned the inner workings of this function yet with this library. But this warning message, failed file or renderer failed to copy frames to the destination. As I scrolled down into the comments, I noticed somebody else had this problem down here towards the bottom somewhere. Anyways, somebody else had this problem, so I'm going to go try to copy this link and show them how I fixed it. Hopefully this helps you, and then from there you can change the parameters, change the data, try to play around with it. Instead of this transition time, you can do transition state or transition reveal. There's all kinds. I'll send you a link to this particular site where I was going to learn how to do this, but I ran into these snags. And if you run into those snags, hopefully this will help you fix it. Again, I'm on a Mac OS running not the latest operating system. I'm running, let's see, the Mojave. All right, well, if you found this tutorial interesting, please share, comment, and like and share this video.